On top of being a great chef and a great mom, Jennifer Bohr-Cuevas joins us right now. She's a licensed clinical social worker. She's a disaster mental health professional. She's been with us many times, talking people through this whole pandemic, this whole corona lockdown and everything else. And she really came to the forefront as one of the voices of Parents Against Distance Learning. So she's been on top of this let's send the kids back to school movement for a while. And now, Jen, here in New York, they're saying the kids are going back to school, but I don't believe it. What do you have for us?
You should not believe it. And for the first time on your show, I have my drink.
There you go. All right, fantastic. Everyone should join us in that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little cocktail in the middle of the day here.
Okay, so here it is. All Governor Cuomo did last week on Friday, he's known for his Friday announcements, was give the green light for the New York school districts to try to roll out their plans for to reopen in September with 3 different plans, with hybrid, which is a blend of in-school and at-home remote, 100% remote, or 100% in the building. Okay.
So wait, let me just break that down for 1 minute. He basically put out a Chinese menu, a multiple choice. You could go sometimes in, sometimes out, or all remote, right? Are they offering the option of all in school?
They asked the school districts to offer those 3 plans to the families and let the family choose which plan they wanted. And I think it was about 8% of people had said that they wanted in building. So yes, this has been offered to all of the students and the families, but now it's up to the individual school districts to roll out the plan. So even though he said, yes, you can reopen, there are many, many sort of doors that these districts have to go through before they can even open. So the first step is the district's plan has to be submitted and approved by New York State Education Department. Then it needs to be approved by the Health Department. Then the plans, once they get through those front doors, return to the home district and have to go before the union and get approved, and then have to go before the Board of Ed and get approved. So if they don't get those approvals by September 9th, your kid is not going back to anything.
So this might, you know, President Trump was putting out these veiled threats that if they don't open the schools and let the kids go back to schools, then he's going to pull some federal funding, and he was going to give out that federal funding to the parents to make their own school choice. So to me, this sounds like a scam by the governor and the mayor here in New York to say, oh, okay, all right, don't pull our money, we'll let the kids go back to school. But they created these levels of bureaucracy that no one could probably forge within a few weeks.
That's right. The process that they had asked the districts to roll out would take a minimum of 6 months to a year to roll out. They're asking them to try to do it in 30 days. So yes, there is a lot of bureaucracy. There's a lot of no good going on in the state of education right now. But you know what? It's bigger than we are as parents and as advocates for our children. We cannot focus on the politics right now as parents. What I want to get across to the audience today is that your child needs you to perhaps think outside of the box of public education, because public education, the way we knew it, is now gone. It is not there anymore. And I'm going to go back to the mask discussion, because in New York State, one of the things that is going to be very tough on is that all children have to wear the masks for a minimum of probably 6 hours a day when they're in the building. Okay, now parents, hear this. Your child's education will only be as good as their ability to wear the mask, okay? If your child shows that they can't tolerate the mask for the day, your child cannot participate in building learning. And then guess what? You are not allowed until perhaps the new year to switch the mode of learning you chose for your child. So if you chose in building or hybrid, you cannot then choose remote if your child cannot tolerate a mask. So there is a chance your child will not get educated full time if he cannot wear the mask.
So the kids. So wait. But Jen, let me. I'm not following that. So they're saying the kids, if all these different bureaucracies approve it, and they say, oh, okay, yeah, health department, board of ed, teachers union, everybody said, yeah, we can do it. Now the kids show up for school, and these poor kids got to walk around all day at school wearing a mask? It doesn't make sense. I mean, Trump got taken to task last week for saying kids are virtually immune. I think what he really meant was that they don't demonstrate the same symptoms as old people, but they can get it. But the kids are almost immune to, like, excessive symptoms of the thing. The masks, I would think I would keep the kids home from school just on the mask situation.
Well, and I think that's what's going to happen is that a lot of people who may have voted for part-time in school, part-time at home, or 100% in school are going to realize that their kids are not going to be able to tolerate the masks and will not send them back. And that's why I want parents to start thinking outside the box.
Got it.
So with Jesse, we are looking into private school now because the private sectors of school, the private schools are less rigid in their
enforcement
rules.
of the masks, maybe. All right. Well, Jen, she deals with disasters. She's a mental health disaster expert, and she's got a dog in the fight because she wants her kid to be in school, but she's always there for us, just like many of you. Jen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.